Let's click that one maybe. All right, let's see. You're also going to check the audio here. New setup. A little bit of a new setup. Making sure the audio is coming through. Check the audio here. New setup. Okay, sounds good, sounds good. Making sure the audio is coming through. Check the audio. Okay, so now you won't hear both of us. All right, sorry, it's a little delay. We working on a kind of new setup here. I'm trying to hopefully get to that my Z30 camera doesn't overheat, so I've tried something different there. I also have created a new microphone, so I think the volume is going to be better, clearer. And when I walk around, you'll hear me just as loud no matter what, because the microphone is with me this time. So that's going to be cool. So let's see. Yeah, so let's go and get started. Hello, everybody, and welcome to How to Make Your Wife Happy and Healthy. You know what, Chef Barry here, coming to you as your host today, and I'll be taking you through a wonderful and tasty beef braised ribs. We're using a cheap cut of beef, and that cheap cut of beef is going to be tasting very tender, as you would not expect from a cheap cut of beef, and it's going to be wonderful. Oh, but before I get started, I gotta retrieve that cut of beef. It's kind of the first thing we gotta do. So, you'll excuse me while I leave the screen, but you can still hear me. I'm gonna double check. I don't think it's in the refrigerator, but I'm gonna double check. I don't think, no, I didn't put it in this one. All right, it must be outside. So I'll go ahead and get the beef as we're gonna get started. And if everything goes right, you'll be able to hear me all the way into the garage, where I get the other beef. You will be here just fine. So it's supposed to go this far and farther even. There we go. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Now sometimes this beef is on sale for more than the price I'm seeing here, which is good. This time though, it wasn't terribly expensive, but usually this cut of beef is a little bit less expensive than that. All right, so let me go ahead. Now that we're here, now that what we're doing, we're going to be creating a wonderful, what this called beef chuck short ribs. So we're going to take this beef chuck short rib, and we're going to make it very tender, very flavorful, something that you'll love to have over and over again, something you won't want to miss. It is just that good. So the recipe, if you see the link in the description, there's a recipe online that I'm going to be using. At least I'm going to try and follow that recipe. So that's the one you want to pay attention to. And so that's where we're going to go with this. Let's see. So I got my beef chuck ribs, got my meat platter. I'm not going to need this one so much because we're not really cutting any meat today. No, we're just going to go straight into something new that we haven't used before. Well, we've used them before, just not this one. So with this recipe, I got a new toy. And I'm going to have to create a review of this toy as well. Why do I have this new toy, you might wonder? What is it doing here? Well, you know, I've been campaigning the Mealthy. Mealthy is really good. And it worked really well for a long time until one day it decided to stop working. And that was unfortunate. So we had the Mealthy, and it worked. And, you know, Happy Healthy Wife was getting there. She was getting ready to cook. She had, you know, pushed the buttons, said, okay, machine, do your thing. Give us a wonderful dinner. What was that going to be? Oh, it's going to be, oh, I don't have it on the channel yet. Another video is coming up, a very good video, taking a cheap cut of roast and making it into this wonderful, extremely tasty beef French dip. Yeah, so that's going to be on the channel coming up soon. There's lots of videos that we're working on getting on the channel. Lots of stuff. I know I've been a little slow on channel videos recently. I'm going to try and get back to that about 3 videos a month pace that I was on before. We'll see about that. Here we go. So we've got this thing. So we've got the kosuri. You know why did I choose kosuri? Couple reasons. I like kosuri. I really, let me see something here. Hold on a second. No, okay, we're good. I was just making sure that the wireless is on the correct wireless. Kosuri. So why did I choose kosuri? Well, we have their air fryer. We love their air fryer for French fries. It's a pretty good air fryer. It's one of the ones we use all the time. And the other thing about this, let's see what I'm going to do. Let me go over here. Let me get up the recipe. That's right. So I use Cozy for my recipes. It's a very good way to do recipes. Oh. Doesn't have the okay. Usually it's in the calendar, but since it's not in the calendar, I know exactly where it is. It's braised beef short ribs. Just scroll through, scroll through, scroll through. Beef braised short ribs in my Cozy. Okay. Just want to make sure I get the rest right. I don't cook this one all the time, so this is not one that I just have memorized as others. Yeah, I need some salt and pepper, some olive oil, onions, some potatoes, a carrot, celery, some garlic, 2 cups of broth, can of taste, tomatoes, some red wine vinegar too, some bay leaves, red pepper flakes, and we're not going to do the parsley, but we could. But anyway, so it's going to be done through this pot, and we are using this one because the meal thief broke down, and this one we like because it had some wonderful features. One thing that I really like on a feature I'm going to try later and see how well it works. It has a sous vide. So I'll get to actually try a sous vide steak at some point. We'll make it on our own. That's going to be wonderful. But first, we're going to start off with getting the vegetables ready. We have the beef. We'll let it cool out a bit. So we're going to get all the vegetables ready. So let's move the beef to the side. And let's start by getting the vegetables ready. So I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see the vegetables. And we're going to turn on, ooh, wrong one. Sorry about that. I got to delete that one. It's this one. So I changed, there we go. I changed our little side camera right here. I got a better one. Okay, beautiful. Right here, all the vegetables. Let's start with potatoes. 3 potatoes. This grocery put us back about $90. So again, we're going cheap on our, what do you want to call these things? Now they say 3 russet potatoes, but because you can see these ones are kind of small, I'm going to go 4. They're kind of small. A little small for my taste. I usually buy them in a, what is this, 10-pound bag of potatoes. Keeps us for a while, and it's cheaper. I do have a lot of them. Oh. Yeah, I'll take this one. Okay. It's cheaper to go that way. So we get an onion out. Get everything out. Now first, we're just going to take them out and cut them. So we went with we hope it's a good quality pressure cooker. We have run the test on it. It has done its thing. I was expecting to find a vegetable peeler in here. Not just any vegetable peeler, but the vegetable peeler. We have a few options of vegetable peelers. There it is. All right, the vegetable peeler. OXO Good Grips. This is the one that you want. Good vegetable peeler. Yeah, it's going to peel our potatoes. Fine. I'll do it here. And then we'll dump them in the trash. So yeah, I was going to use 4 potatoes. So I'm going to get all of the vegetables ready first before I actually cook the beef, because I think it's a little easier that way. I don't want to be rushing or letting the beef just sit there and sit there and sit there while I get my vegetables ready. So we're going to go ahead and get all the vegetables ready that need to be prepared. One of them is potatoes, because these potatoes are going to soak up all that wonderful flavor that's going to be in the broth. It's going to be a very good broth flavor. Because you have all the beef fat, because it's a cheaper cut of meat. You tend to get more fat in cheaper cuts of meat. Fats that cook well. Actually, the reason why it's so good is because it's using the pressure cooker. That also makes it really fast. So you don't have to tender up your meat for a long time. Don't have to cook them low and slow for a long time. So you're going to use a pressure cooker. It's going to cook it fast, faster than a slow cooker. So if you ever had one of those crock pots, they're great. We love crock pots. But you know, I honestly haven't used my crock pot as much anymore because I have learned that I can make all those crock pot dishes like chili. That's one of the dishes I make in the crock pot. Pork chops, another crock pot dish that I use sometimes. What else do I do in the crock pot? One thing I'll still do in the crock pot usually is the slow cooked meatballs. You know, that's another one that I'm going to try and get on the channel too. It's meatballs and a wonderful barbecue sauce. Happy, healthy daughter really likes it. I really like it. But those things, we're not going to do them as much anymore. Why not? I don't use it as much anymore because what would take, 6 to 8 hours of making chili in the crock pot, because you want to let it slow cook. If I put it in the pressure cooker, or it's really an instant pot. Most famous brand, Instapot. That's one of the most famous brands. But this one's the Coastal brand. So what you do is in fact, it also replaces your skillet just for this dish. Because we're going to have to, if you're doing like a pork chop or a beef stew, well, that's another thing that I used to do in the slow cooker. But no more. It's always in the Instant Pot now. Because what you do is you would fry your meat first in a pan, in a skillet. But this Coastal pressure cooker, it's really, an Instant Pot. It is you're going to skillet it inside itself. So I'll have the skillet. And then turn up the pressure to cook. Because as you may or may not know, slow and low gets meats really tender. When I've done ribs low and slow, it's kind of hard to match a low and slow cooked rib. But in this case, oh my gosh, you are going to see. Oh, that one's not so good. We'll cut out the bad part. We'll see how deep it goes. Not that deep. Okay. We'll be fine. Pretty good, pretty good. There we go. A low and slow, but the pressure. If instead you go pressure cooker, it can tenderize the meat in a much faster time. So that's what we're going to be using, the pressure cooker. It works great too if you want to cook some steamed rice. You can use a pressure cooker to cook some steamed rice. That's a wonderful way to do it. In fact, if you've ever wondered how those Korean restaurants get their steamed rice to taste a little bit different than the Chinese restaurants, the secret is they're using a pressure cooker. I mean, we have tested it before. Wow, this one's just, bad potato. We're going to see maybe a little more. We'll see. Yeah, you've home cooked before. You know what it's like. You see a potato, mostly good. A little bit of bad. Hold on. Now you rinse some of this off. Now what we're going to do, we got to cut out the bad parts. With this wonderful new knife. Whew. I'll tell you, this knife is wonderful. It's one of my new knives, and it is very good. All right, so let's go ahead. Get rid of those. Rinse. And we got some potatoes. These are not the star of the dish, absolutely not. Beef is a star. But still, you want to have some new potatoes. So let me quickly scroll through here. Ingredients. A lot of salt, a lot of pepper. Yeah, that's coming. Oil, yeah. Onion. Potatoes, large carrot and celery. Okay. Carrot and celery. Celery. Ooh, salsa's still good. All right, I'm gonna do the onion last. I want the whole onion. We can do the whole onion. All right, let's peel off the carrot. So yeah, it's great to see if you have never seen an Instant Pot before. And I'll tell you, I hope it works. This is actually the very first time I am using this Instant Pot to cook a dish. So if it doesn't work, we'll have to go to plan B. But, you know, we tested it. We did test it. Just was boiling some water. You know, the other thing I want to test too on this later is will it actually slow cook? Because if you haven't seen other tests online for these Instant Pots that do multi-functions, including slow cooking, one of the things they have trouble doing, the Milty had trouble, the earlier versions of the Instant Pots really had trouble, of doing an actual slow cook. It was actually too low of a temperature. It couldn't hold the temperature correctly. So we'll have to test the slow cook ability of this Instant Pot. Maybe, you know, you could replace your slow cooker with one of these. Though I really like the slow cooker still by itself. Don't know if I would. The other thing you can replace is a sous vide machine. So I've not bought a sous vide machine. But apparently, one of the reasons why I chose this one over Instant Pot, besides the half the price, about half the price for the same thing, close to it, not quite, is it has a sous vide feature. So I am definitely going to want to try out sous vide. See what it's like. You know, I've heard all the rage about how you can cook your steaks perfectly and tender. So I have to do a sous vide challenge. We'll compare two different dishes. No, two of the same steaks. I'll barbecue one, I'll sous vide another, and then I'll determine whether or not the sous vide is the thing. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to sous vide when you can barbecue just as well? You know, and it just takes time to barbecue. I mean, sous vide, some people call it the cheat code, because all you have to do with the sous vide is just set the temperature, put your steak in for 2 hours. Oh, that's the other problem with the sous vide. Your steak has to cook for 2 hours. Put it in for 2 hours, and bam, there you go. Take it out. It'll be done. It won't look appetizing. In fact, it won't have the Maillard, or whatever that thing is called, that reaction that browns it up. That won't be there. So then what you're going to do, you're going to brown it up using either a blowtorch or the grill. Kind of funny, you know, if you're going to use the grill to do it, or a broiler, or a cast iron skillet. You just want to get the brownness on thing. That's all you're looking for. Brownness. The brown. All right, here we go. Rinse it out. Did I rinse the carrots? I don't think I did. Come here, carrots. Carrots, something a happy, healthy daughter does not enjoy very much are the carrots. So that's okay. She'll give them to me or pick them out, one or the other. And the onion. We're going to have all the vegetables ready except for the tomato, but the tomato's already in a can and it's already ready. All right, nice cut in half the onion. By the way, I just recently got this specific knife. There's a link to it in the description. If you want to go to Amazon, see what it looks like, see what it is. But it has highly impressed me so far. Much better than the other knives I've been using. Of course, you know, the other knives are like 30 years old. Really? Was it that long ago? It's that long ago that I was doing Cutco knives. 30 years ago. So maybe partly it's just the other knives got dull. But this knife cuts so cleanly, so easily, so effortlessly. We'll see how long it lasts, but it is a very, very, very good knife. This is the one I currently use. All right, now you might know that I love the Fullstar vegetable chopper, and normally if I was chopping onions, that's what I would be doing, especially when I could chop them small. But this dish is not a small onion dish. No, it's a big piece of onions, big piece of tomatoes, big carrots, big celery. And the biggest blade for the Fullstar vegetable chopper, biggest one they give you, oops, not you. This one right here. This is the biggest blade you can get in the Fullstar vegetable chopper. Biggest one. And that's too small. I don't want my vegetables that small. Now, the original recipe I got this from did ask you to puree. Use an immersion blender after you cooked everything so that your vegetables were just into a sauce. Yeah, I like texture in my vegetables, so we don't do that part of it. We do not do that part of it. I can't remember if that's in my recipe or not. But when I just rough cutting onions, 2 slices, and boom, there it is. That's all you need. Why would I use a vegetable chopper if all I'm gonna do is, so this cut is always done for the vegetable chopper anyway, that one right there. Boom. Because you're gonna lay those flat on the vegetable chopper. And then crack, crack. 2 more. 2 more. Boom, boom. Onions chopped. Done. Easy. And then the celery and carrots, you know, truthfully, it'd be like a mandolin more likely you would use for these. It's gonna be a nice chop. Now, technically, I could probably do this while we are cooking the beef. Let's go and get the vegetables completely prepped. And the tomatoes are already prepped because they're in the can, waiting to come out. There we go. So hopefully you can see how quick that knife is at cutting vegetables. It is just nice and quick. Yeah, all the vegetables are going to go in at once. After we take care of the beef. Okay, the back there. Okay, now potatoes. Potatoes, I like to go half. These ones are kind of small, so nice half slice first. Yeah, Happy Healthy Daughter would not be pleased if I cut the potatoes out of the dish. Let's make it kind of a little big. There we go. These will be fine. It's going to be in the pressure cooker. They are going to get very tender very fast. And if one looks too big, like this is too big, okay, we can cut that in half. And we can cut that one in half. Okay. Some nice big chunks of potatoes. Yeah, okay. Maybe I should have a long quarter. Cutting potatoes. You notice it's really sticking to the knife, huh? One more. Boom. Some nice big chunks of potato. Half and half. Since these are small potatoes. These are definitely small potatoes. Notice half and half. Often I do them in thirds, but since these are small potatoes, we're just going to cut them in half. And they are russets. Russets are the best for baking. If you ever baked potato, I have a great recipe for baked potato too. Oh, also a great recipe for mashed potatoes on my channel. If you're a lover of potatoes like my daughter, she is a lover of potatoes. Baked mashed is probably one of her favorites. Actually, I'll tell you, her favorite is French fries. But she still loves the mashed more than baked. When I was young, I only liked fries. As I grew older, tastes have changed. And I like a good mashed potato. My favorite is baked. But then again, my baked potato idea is you add butter, you add cream, you add cheese. And that's how you're going to bake your potato. All right, let's put this one back. Double check my recipe, make sure. Onion, potatoes, carrot, celery. Oh, I need some garlic. I need some chicken broth too. Actually, it calls for beef broth. But we're going to go chicken because I have that. I don't want to use the what kind of broth is that? Let me see. I don't want to use the bouillon cubes. That's what I do. So excuse me for a minute while I get the wonderful chicken broth. Yeah, I can still talk to you while I'm walking. And speaking of chicken broth, chicken broth, there was one I'm going to talk about. One thing wonderful that's coming out. Oh, pictures. I have pictures. That's something that's really good and nice and tasty. And where's the broth? I just bought a whole bunch of broth. Oh, bouillon it is. Let me double check. I'm just double check. I'm checking there should be broth here. I just bought a big old container of it. Never mind. I found them. Chicken broth. Oh, that's what it was. I saw the refrigerator. What did I see? I saw some buttermilk. And why do we have some buttermilk in the refrigerator? Maybe I gotta try some buttermilk biscuits. Use it up that way. But what do we have the buttermilk for in the pantry, in the refrigerator? Because I tried an experiment, a goo experiment. If you've ever watched Gula's channel, he has lots of good stuff. Lots of excellent stuff. One of the things he did, so we're not going to use a trivet, but almost every Instant Pot comes with a trivet. One of the things he did is he did he did an experiment with buttermilk and steak. It was actually a really interesting experiment. He had some steak, some buttermilk, and he put the steak in the buttermilk for a week. That's right, a whole week. 7 days. And then, scrape off the buttermilk, take out the steak, season it as normal, and then it actually does tenderize the meat. Happy Healthy Daughter says it was worth it. But when I do steak, that's the way I should do it. I'm just not a big fan of steak anyway, but let's see. So it's oil in here, and then let's put it on. Let's see. I gotta take a look at the front panel. So we're gonna hit the saute button. One thing I like about this one, high is fine, and start. Over the Mealthy, this one actually has a button you push to say start. That's helpful. The other ones do not. The Mealthy do not. It's just you push the button and you wait and you listen for the beep. And that's how you do it. All right, so as that is getting hot, yes, I know I said we need some garlic. We'll get some garlic, don't worry. But while this is getting hot, we're going to prepare the beef with some salt and pepper. Yes, whenever you cook beef, and I have actually done it as a taste test before. I was curious. People say salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt and pepper. One thing I will say about the pepper, that's up to you. From what my experience is, the pepper does not really alter the flavor of the beef very much, hardly noticeable, unless you dump boatloads on. But the salt, oh yeah, it makes a big difference if there's salt or not. I tried with just some plain old hamburger patties. Let me see what happens. Let me try this one patty, put no salt on it. And honestly, I know I have this beautiful, wonderful salt grinder. If you're cooking with salt, you don't need that. You don't need that. No, you don't need that. You're just fine with good old kosher salt. Honestly, you don't need the grinder. Because salt's just going to melt. And it doesn't matter if it was fresh ground or not. It is not going to change the flavor of your meat. So a nice, good coating of salt. And I did notice it made a big difference in our hamburgers when I salted versus not salting. Now pepper, grinding does make a difference. So I usually grind the pepper on, but actually if you're cooking with the pepper, whatever flavor the fresh grind gave you gets lost when you cook it. So whenever you cook with pepper, you don't need to use the fancy, I don't know if it's more expensive or not stuff. Feel free to instead use Oh, that's right. You can't see it on the side. That wasn't even very hot. That's surprising. I put my finger right inside. I didn't put it on the bottom. That probably would have been worse, but I'm not giving you a chance to look from the side here. All right. So what we should have done is this. So you might think you might say I'm actually just wasting my fresh ground pepper this way. I don't know if this is cheaper or not cheaper, but we'll do it anyway. But I will tell you, salt on beef is a must. I did try it without salt. Try it yourself. Just do some cheap burgers. Whatever burgers you're doing. Put some salt on one of them, then cook it up. Don't put salt on another and cook it up. See how the flavor changes. Another thing you can do, and this one was interesting too, we did this one once. I want to see if the length of time that I had salt on the meat made everything, and it did. When I set I found it from some other channel. When I set, I don't remember that one anymore, but an hour, I took the meat out, put salt in it, let it rest for an hour. Let's see, okay, yes. Try to get the bones on the bottom so I can salt all sides. There you go. Set it out for an hour, and it absolutely changed the flavor of the steak. Salted it and let it rest for an hour with salt. Happy healthy daughter liked it. Happy healthy son was okay with it. So since it was a mixed bag, and who needs to take out their steak for an hour, or who needs to put their steak for a week? Yeah, that's right. It was a week. Oh, look at that. Hear that. It says it's hot now, I guess. Who would put that in for a week? My gosh. Yeah, you hear the sizzle. All right, let's switch it back so you can see beef cooking. Get that right in there for you. Yep. And so we're just going to brown the beef. You don't really need to cook it. Just want to get that nice browning, because that's where the flavor is. So we're just going to brown the beef. You can hear it sizzle. See if I can get them all in. I think I can. Oh. A cup more. Yeah, it's good enough. I can get it in. So yeah, so if you do want to salt your beef and let it rest for an hour before cooking, try an experiment. Try one for an hour. Sit out for an hour and salt. Well, if you salt it, let the salt sit out for an hour. Do another one. And salt it later. Or half hour. And try one, just salt like 5 minutes before you start cooking. See the difference. See if you like the pre-salted steak or not. Let's see, let's get this. Oh, I know what I can do. This, right? There it goes. There you go. Now you can see right in the pot. There you go. Right in the pot, watching the beef cook. I need the tongs. Let's see, am I going to need salt and pepper again? I don't think I do. All right, so we got this going. Got the onion, potato, carrot, celery, garlic. I need to get some garlic ready. Well, kind of. And I got the 2 cups right here of beef broth, although we're going to use chicken stock. I would rather use chicken stock today. It's not going to make that much difference. I need canned tomatoes. Let's get that out. Canned tomatoes, 14 ounces. Garlic, I said. Garlic. And I'll be honest with you, there are actual measurements for the recipe. I don't always follow them. Vegetable-wise, the vegetables were in a different, in terms of what they said. But today, I'll go ahead and go 2 cups of broth. Now let me see. This thing on here, it says it's 1 quart. I think 1 quart is 4 cups. Yeah, 4 servings, each is a cup. So half of this is what we'll be using. So now the garlic, my favorite would do garlic. And we'll do it in a second. We're not going to fully do the garlic. We are going to open up the garlic. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure my mic is still on. Yep. Mic's still going. Mic's looking good. I did test it too. It sounded nice and loud and perfect, I think. So you can hear me clearly, I hope. My gosh, it was actually, for the first time ever, I had to actually turn down the volume on the camera or the, no, not, it's not through the camera, it's through the laptop. The laptop is controlling everything. That's where the mic sound is going, but I had to turn the volume down. I've never had to do that before. It's always been too loud. All right, double check again. So you've got the garlic now, yes. You got the tomatoes, yes. We need some wine and vinegar. Really, a half a cup of red wine vinegar. Okay. So red wine. And like I always say, if you're cooking with red wine, just get the cheap stuff. Honestly, take a look. It's just the cheap Costco stuff. Cheapest one. It's the 1.5 liters of wine. You're not really looking for the flavor. You're going to cook most of the flavor out anyway. So why spend a whole lot of money on an expensive bottle of wine? They're just going to cook out all the flavor. No, thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and move these around, get them all browned. Pretty good. Now I have to use my tongs, right? Put them on the other side. All right, okay. Now you're just gonna have to stack them up and take some of them out, but once they get their brownish on them. That one's getting close. There's this one up. There we go. Spin around so you can actually see it. By the way, so in this pan, this is actually a ceramic coating, if you're wondering. Using ceramic coating on the inside. It's different. It's still very non-stick. It's very slippery. All the stuff just slips sliding around. That one, this is nice and brown. This one is definitely brown. Good to go. Set it on the plate. That's why the plate was there. I wonder why I brought the plate out. Plate was to take and give you all the meat. I'll hold all the meat. Okay. Now that one's out. I can put some others in the open spot. Just want to be nice and brown. Don't need any more than brown. And keep going. That one's need more time. Let's look at this one. Almost done. Come on. Get on. There you go. That one. Almost. All right, let's flip it over. The thing about browning, the enemy is just messing with it too much. Patience. That is your enemy when you're browning meat. So you want a nice brown on them. Not going to fully cook them though. All right, let me see this one. This one doesn't have much meat on it. Some have more meat than others. This one doesn't have much meat on it either. Take this one out. There we go, it's getting there. Alright, so this is nice and browned. Finish brown the others that aren't finished yet. Maybe this one. There's the other side. There we go, this side. So I did see the package of meat. This meat was $5.99 this time, but often I've gotten this for $3.99 a pound when it's on sale. Short ribs. Whenever it's $3.99 on sale, jump on that. That is a good price for this cut of meat. It's not a very expensive cut of meat. And it is quite expensive from time to time. How's this one doing? Too nice and brown. You want nice and brown. Not fully cooked, but just nice and brown. And right now, if I tried to eat this, it'd be very tough. Trying to eat this, oh my gosh. Sure, it's cooked well enough to eat. If you like your medium rare or rare, cook one up for that. But it is definitely not going to be tender. I don't know if you ever had beef ribs that aren't tender, but these untender beef ribs, not what you want to try. All right, did this one get done? Yeah. All right, so all the beef is done. We're taking them out. So I was just trying to get that brownness on it. Now, you don't necessarily have to, but it does actually improve it. If you did side-by-side comparison, you would tell the difference between previously browned versus non-browned. All right, so now we're just going to soften the veggies a little bit. You want to do the garlic too, that's funny. Okay, we'll do the garlic too. Here you go, veggies going in. Oh, lost a few. About 4 minutes on the veggies. You do not escape. Kind of helps you soak up all that meat together. I haven't even done the garlic in. Why not? Because I have a favorite way to take care of the garlic. Cheese grater. A fine cheese grater. I don't like big chunks of garlic in my food. And when you grate them up, the garlic tends to dissolve into whatever sauce you have. So you get all the flavor this way. So a nice cheese grater. I wonder, do we need salt? Salt and pepper. There's a lot of salt in the beef already. Probably not going to need salt on the veggies. The recipe doesn't call for salt in the veggies, so I do not salt the veggies. So you might have salt and pepper them. Add some flavor. Later, though, we are going to use... never mind. When we put the broth in, we will. That's what it's going to be. Okay. There you go. Cheese grater. Best, I guess I need something to stir with. By the way, I think these are bamboo. I love these a lot. These are wonderful. Don't get hot. Like if you ever try the plastic-like ones, if you ever use those ones, they're funny. So when you use the plastic-like ones, and you leave it like right here, this part's usually metal, and it gets really hot to the touch. But since this is wood, you don't get that problem. So we're just gonna saute these for a little bit. And we'll add in all the juices and get ready for the pressure cooker. So what else am I going to make today? So there's the caprese salad. That's going to be a simple, easy thing to do. This is actually a dish that we love over rice. And if you want to have it, I don't know, plain like a soup, you could. But we love the rice because the rice is going to soak up all the juicy flavor. I guess you never mashed potatoes. That would taste good. Actually, that would be really good too. We're going to use rice. And normally, if I'm doing a rice dish, what I would be doing with my rice is I would have already started cooking the rice. Yep. But, because today, this dish takes a while to cook. It's going to cook on its own. We're going to set the timer to, let me double check, I think it's 45. For 45 minutes to pressure. It takes more than 45 minutes to actually cook. It's got a, well, it is kind of already hot, but the pressure's got to build up. That usually takes like 5, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how hot the stuff is you're putting in. Oh, I'm supposed to get out the vinegar too. There we go. I wonder if that's a quarter cup. Well, we'll figure it out. Red wine vinegar. Bay leaves. Now, I've never done these for it myself, but you can try dishes with bay leaves and without. And from what I've seen experiments online, you want bay leaves inside. Oh, I wish you could smell this already. Smell of onion, and especially potatoes and onion cooking. It smells marvelous. Let that cook for about 2 minutes. Take my time. And then once that's done, we're going to dump in the brothy stuff. And then we'll put the meat on top. Close the lid and pressure cook for 45 minutes. Like I was saying, so we're going to pressure cook it. It's going to take at least 5 minutes, usually 10 to 15, for it to actually build up the pressure. Then it'll lock in. And then it's going to cook for 45, and it'll beep saying it's done. And we're going to quick release because we don't want to wait, but if you could just, I mean, if you were doing this like way ahead of time, maybe you were decided you wanted to cook something, and you know, you're just down here at 3 o'clock cooking so that it could be ready by 6. You just let it sit and let it depressurize slowly. That's fine. We're going to do a quick release the pressure right away, and it's going to be almost the same. And that's going to taste wonderful on a bed of rice. And as you heard, it's going to be at least 45, 50 minutes. So we got plenty of time to get that rice to cook. Because we're going to use a rice cooker because I often have rice with dishes. I cook Chinese style food quite a bit. My wife, happy, healthy wife, cooks Chinese food. And what do we need with Chinese food? You need rice. And you don't just need rice, you need steamed white rice. And getting steamed white rice is really easy. You got a rice cooker. So yeah, we'll set up the rice cooker. But I'm gonna have to cook the rice over there, where that rice cooker is in the back, because, well, the way our house is, if I put it on the same thing, the same electrical outlet that the pressure cooker's on, it's gonna blow the fuse. And that's just how it is. Fuse will be blown, won't be able to have either of them cook. That's feeling good. All right, so I think we're ready. Let's get into the next part. We're going to put in all the good stuff. All right, so we got 2 cups of broth. Now, again, usually I wouldn't necessarily measure these specifically, but, you know, I want to make sure it's good. By the way, you notice the spouts up top? When I pour, if you've never had cartons like this, if you pour like this, the air has nowhere to go. It's going to gurgle. Always pour with the mouth at the higher part. So here we go. 2 cups of beef stock. All right, 2 cups of beef stock. Now I got to get the wine in there. I want a half a cup of the wine. So we'll do a half a cup of wine, quarter cup of wine vinegar. Tell you, actually, though, since I don't really cook this one that much, I probably would measure everything out. Yeah, it's going to be all of that, basically. Close enough. Ah, perfect. So I can get rid of this one. Wine vinegar. Oh, if you've never had wine vinegar, it's a very wonderful addition to any awesome dish. Especially vegetables in certain instances. All right. So then that goes in. You know what else goes in? The can of tomatoes. The rest is salt and pepper. Gotta have some salt and pepper in too. Some tomatoes. Beautiful. Salt. Add some salt, copious amounts of salt. And let's add a little pepper. There we go, that's nice. And a couple of bay leaves. This is the funniest thing in the world, but I gotta show this to you. So here's the bay leaf container, right? You see that bay leaf container? Don't worry, it's not very hot over here. So, you expect, okay, it's got a flip lid, right? So I just flip the lid and take out my bay leaves. No, I cannot. It's got a shaker in there. And there is no way bay leaves are ever small enough to be shaken out. So McCormick, you did a bad job on this one. So open it up, take out a couple of bay leaves. One leaf. And you could watch other people do the experiment on bay leaves. Ethan Chabowski, I think is his name. I don't remember. I watched his video on, he just did rice in a broth. He did one with bay leaves and one without. And the broth with bay leaves, the rice with bay leaves, cooked in a broth, tasted better than the one without. So, I always tend to, anytime I make a soup, bay leaf gets tossed in. I'll put that on this one. And now let's put in, so now the ribs, what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay them bone side down inside the pot. Bone, I don't know why. Or is it bone side? Let me double check. I think it's bone side up. Bone side up, sorry. Bone side up. And we're just gonna let them cook. Ugh, whoops. I could probably use my hands probably because everything's cold enough now. But, why do I want to get crap. That's why I want to get my hands dirty. So you're probably wondering, what am I going to do with that rib that just fell on the ground? Is it going to go in the pot? Or is he going to throw it away? We're not living in a restaurant world here, people. In a restaurant, I'm out to throw it away. Health board and all that. At home? Well, I'm not going to put it directly in. Oh, by the way, if you're thinking 5-second rule, don't believe that malarkey. If you watch Mythbusters, and that was such a wonderful show. Mythbusters disproved the whole 5-second rule. There is no such thing. Once your thing hits the ground, it's done. It doesn't matter if it's 5 seconds or 1 second or half a second or 1/10 of a second. Once the object hit the ground, transfer of disease, bacteria, whatever was on the floor has already happened. So let it land on there longer. Doesn't matter. But you're wondering, what am I going to do with that one that fell, right? Because, can't lose a good piece of beef. Well, just wash it. And every bacteria is still on there. It's going to be cooked away because this is going to get really hot inside. All right. So you can beef that thing there. Maybe you wonder, why didn't I put the beef juice in the pot? One thing I've learned is the beef juice that comes out like that. Usually is not flavorful very much at all. I have done it both ways. When I do, there's a broccoli beef dish I always cook. I'll give you that story after I set this thing on fire. All right, so here you go. So here, I know it might not be easy for you to see this part. We'll give you a better look. Here you go. All right. So if you've never used one of these things before, these are the best. Oh, look at that. It's backwards to you. Sorry. That's what she's going to put on the lid. We're going to put on the lid. Now, it is set up so that it tells you. It's got this yellow dot, matched with that yellow dot. Maybe it's orange. And that puts it on. You hear some chimes, and you slide it in. Perfect. Now it's ready to go. Now, oh, by the way, that says 6 minutes right now. Why is that 6 minutes? What's it counting down to? That was how long I was going to saute. So we're going to hit the cancel button. Stop the sauteing. We're done with sauteing. And we're going to say, give me a nice pressure cook. How long? Ooh, 5 minutes? No. Go 45. And you hit the start button. You can see here it's got slow cook. I'll have to test it out, see if this one really is a slow cooker. Ferment, apparently that's for yogurt. Not something to use. Saute, which we just used. Stew broth, not sure what that is. Oh, I think if you want to cook like a chicken broth, we've done that in the pressure cooker. Oh, it is actually really good. So you can do a chicken broth. They have buttons for things you can do, but mainly I just use pressure cooker. You even have a rice button. See, it's ready to cook rice. If you want to steam up some rice, pressure cook some rice. And the sous vide button. That one, I'm going to be using that. The sous vide right there. Sous vide. Wonderful idea. It's going to be wonderful, but we're not doing that today. No. All right, so now you can see the lights are going, pressurizing. It's preheating it, and then it's going to cook, and then it's going to keep warm. Is the keep warm setting on? Yes, it is. The keep warm setting is on, so it's going to keep warm. Though we're not going to need that. But if we were going to eat for like another hour, and it's done, you'd keep it on the keep warm. Okay. So now you've seen the Instant Pot. Oh, I love it. Don't need an extra skillet. It's ready to go. Oh, you can see right over here. This is where the steam will vent out for a bit. This little silver tab here is going to pop up. When the pressure rises high enough, it's going to pop up. And that's when the pressure cooker is really going to start. Yep, so this is your new fancy pressure cooker. In fact, there's a pressure release button on the side here, so you don't have to touch anything over here near the steam. I just flip this one, and it's pressure released. Beautiful. So I'm looking forward to seeing this work. Oh, I'm already smelling the short ribs. I'm already getting excited to have a taste. It is good. I don't know if it's as good as tomorrow's video, though. Tomorrow's video is a really good dish. You just have to wait and see what it is. But I'll tell you, it's not one that I cooked. So I don't need the wine anymore. Don't need the chicken stock anymore. So let's put some of this stuff away. Got a lot of time. We can kick back, relax. You can remember, it's a 45-minute cook time. And it hasn't even started the 45 minutes yet. But we got some other dishes we're going to make. The rice, for one. And I have cooked rice many times. I even do it fairly good. Usually, happy, healthy wife will cook the rice. I'll cook everything else, but she'll cook the rice. That's usually how we segregate our meals in cooking terms. If we need rice, she'll do it. If I need vegetables prepped, usually she'll do it. But if I'm recording, I'll prep all the vegetables. So, she helps out a lot. Helps out a lot in the kitchen. And it's very nice, too. Let me see. Do I need salt and pepper? Oh, I'm going to need this again. Never mind. I was going to put away the salt and pepper this time. Oh, no. We actually do need fresh ground salt and pepper. I'm going to put away this salt. We don't need this one. Because this is where the difference will be noticeable. Let's see. This one goes back into there. Bay leaves. So she will prep vegetables for me, which is always very helpful, very worthy. Let me see. Can you see this? I'm looking. Oh, you can see it. Soy milk we made earlier today using meal mat. Love our soy milk. We had to leave early today, so we didn't get a chance to drink our wonderful, beautiful, lovely soy milk. So we'll have that at dinner as well. The stir broth, yep, good. It's all in there. Except for, no, I put in salt and pepper. I remember putting in the salt and pepper. You saw me do that too. We lay the short ribs in. We lock the pressure cooker. Set the manual cook for 45 minutes. It says release naturally. We're not going to do that. We're going to quick release it. Transfer ribs to the plate. No, we're just going to leave the ribs inside. Remove and discard bay leaves. Nah, nobody eats bay leaves. They know they're not for eating. Skim fat. Don't need to. We're not using the broth that way. Blend the liquid immersion blender. Fill with the blade. We don't have an immersion blender. It's a little above my grade. Ladle some sauce in a bowl and put 2 short ribs in each portion of sauce. Garnish with parsley. Yeah, that's nice. Not what we're going to do. That's nice. Anyway. So that is the wonderful. Okay. I see. It's just me paused. Oops. So what I have here. So this is my phone. I actually open up the channel so that I can see the chat. That's how I read my chat. I wish I had a nice big monitor here. You know, when I become bigger, and it's going to happen. When we get big enough. Let's see, olive oil. Yes, I'll need some of that. When we get bigger, I will be able to. All right, let's turn this thing off for a minute. You don't need this one right now. Just, let's see. Okay. There he goes. I gotta get rid of the others. This is what I'm going to do. Excuse me, I'll do a little housekeeping here. I can move this thing out of the way a bit. Trying to think. Okay, we're gonna move it off to the side. Oh, I'm already smelling. It's already smelling good. Good. Boom. There we go. Move that off to the side. All right. Perfect. I'm gonna rearrange some things here for a second. There we go. That one. Oops. There you go. All right, so now you've seen all the different ones. Okay, so those are all my scenes in OBS. That's how things get changed around. So what we got? So I moved some things around, so I know which ones to use now. All right, rice cooker time. All right, and here is our rice cooker. Slam bama. All right, you know, standard rice cooker. Nothing special. It's actually been with us for a long time. It's about an easy brand. So I'll do most of it over there, but I guess now you do need the special PVP cam. So there you go. So let's move it over so you can see it. Standard non-stick cooking surface. We're going to wash the rice. I'll even let you see me wash the rice. How's that? Let's give you a second over here. There we go. Okay. You wonder what I'm doing? Bet. Well, sometimes when we have our cast iron skillet, by the way, if you don't have one, it does a really good job in certain dishes. It's very helpful, especially meats. Sometimes we just set in the sink to soak, and then we do it later. Wash it later, so I'm just rinsing off the stain that comes from that. All right, let's see. I'm going to use this again. Yes, I'm using that again. Oh, you can kind of, let's see. The pressure cooker is getting this thing going, so now let me switch you over here for a minute or so. You can see, yeah, I can see the steam. There's the steam right here. Steam. Probably back the camera away a bit from that. So there's the steam. So it's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. it popped up. Wow, that was faster than the other. That was faster than meal in terms of popping up, from steam to pop up. I also see the silver button, which I don't want to touch, just popped up. Cut off the steam. Pressure is rising. And then soon you're going to hear a beep. I haven't heard this beep before, so we'll hear what the beep is like. And the beep will tell me. The beep will tell me. How far does this one go? Does it go far enough? I think it does. The beep will tell you that it's ready to pressure. Look at that. This is a long. Okay, very nice. Woo. There we go. That, very nice. Over here in the sink so you can see me get the rice ready. I've been doing rice for a long time, ever since college. Learned it from my college roommate? No, college friends? Yeah, probably. All right, let's get out our rice. Now you gotta notice, I'm not gonna measure my rice at all. Not one bit. It doesn't matter. And it's kind of gonna look inside. I mean, if you look inside, it does have some measurement numbers on it. You kind of see those? We do have some measurement numbers here. That's not easy to see. There they are. There you go. They got some measurement numbers in there. Not even gonna bother. Because there's a simple measurement, simple rule of thumb for cooking rice. And it generally works no matter how much rice you cook. Let me see. So, I'm trying to figure out. So we need rice for the dish. And we like to have leftover rice because Happy Healthy Wife loves to make fried rice, especially because Happy Healthy Daughter enjoys fried rice. It's a good breakfast for her. So we are going to put a good amount of rice in here. Not going to measure. And just kind of eyeball it. Now, if you ever get one of these rice cookers, they're actually going to have cups that you can measure with. All right, so I put it up to be halfway between the one. No, that's at the one line. So if you're looking at there, it's it's in Japanese. It says JPN 1000. It's at the 1 mark. The other side, oh, same thing. Whatever the 1 mark is, there was the beep. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard the beep. So now if you take a look, it should be on pressure cook. So there the beep happens. So remember, we started earlier, but here you go. There's the beep. There it is, 45 minutes to go. And there is the first dot. See, I am so lax to rice here. Why? Because how long is it going to take me to cook this rice? Well, that's about how much rice we got in there. It's going to take about 15, 20, 25 minutes. Less than that. So you don't have to worry so much. That's not including this process, though, the washing of the rice. So what you do, fill the bucket with rice. I just like to stir it around, not everyone does. Some people use sieve to wash the rice, rinse the rice. What are you trying to do? Well, as you're looking at the rice here, hopefully you're noticing that the milky white texture in the water. You're getting rid of the starch. Same thing you do with potatoes. And you drain off the water. So I'm using my hand to catch any loose, stray grains of rice. You can see some of them still look white. Some of them look a little more clear, translucent, if you will. Some people don't even wash their rice. So that's another way you can do it. Don't even wash it. Just pour in the right amount of water and cook it. Then you get lots of bubbling. So again, use your hand. Catch any stray rice grains that fall. Now we're just getting rid of starch. You do the same thing when you're making French fries with potatoes. You want to get rid of all the starch. Usually I wash 3 times, vigorously like that. And now you can see why I didn't have to use a measuring cup for anything. Okay. All right, that's good. All right. You might wonder how much I don't know how much water to put in to steam the rice. Well, there's a trick. I just eyeball it now, but the trick is when the rice is flat, what you want is 1 finger width. Not quite there. 1 finger width of water above the rice. A little more. That might be a little too much. Let's move it around a bit. Dump a little more out. There we go. Shake it around, make it flattish. So that's about 1 finger width of rice above the rice. Sorry, 1 finger width of water above the rice. That's where you want it. If you get more than that, the rice will become more moist and sticky. If you do it less than that, the rice will be a little drier. So, you can actually set your own. Doesn't have to be that perfect. So what do? Put in the rice cooker. Bam. How do you plug the rice cooker in? Get the rice away first. You might notice we're using a nice sealed container for our rice. That's to keep any moths from getting in there. Helps a lot, actually. And that's actually why I put my flour in the refrigerator, too. It's very rare. Some people, my mom used to use Tupperware containers, tightly sealed, because you don't want those Indian moths getting into your flour. Same idea for the rice. You don't want insects getting in there, so you tightly seal it. All right, so then what you do is you plug in the rice cooker. Camera won't go this far. Light comes on, heat warm, you click, boom, power. That's it. You might wonder why I'm punched down on it, because that one has trouble staying down. Has a little trouble staying down, so that's why I punched down on it. What do we got here? Okay. Let me see if I can, there we go. Now there's no reflections. You can actually see it says 41 minutes left. 41 minutes left. Plenty of time. For our next dish, and I'll rinse off this one for it. Now this next dish, it is absolutely the best. If you have never had caprese salad, you owe yourself the pleasure of cooking one for yourself. That's right. Well, you're not really cooking. You're preparing one for yourself. If you've never had the pleasure of having one before, you want to make sure you get one for yourself. These are wonderful. Don't bother getting them at an Italian restaurant if you've never had one before. Use this recipe. Use this recipe. Because this recipe is wonderful. It's easy to do. You just have to have the right ingredients. You have to have fresh tomatoes. You have to have fresh basil and fresh mozzarella. Let's see, is there a date on this stuff? 5 No wonder. All right, so now I'm going to test out, though, on the fresh mozzarella part. Because this, well, let me show you some of the mozzarella. Actually, let me get the camera set up for this stuff. This and this, okay. So by fresh mozzarella, I do not mean this stuff. Not this. All right, you know what, we're going to move you back. You're lovely, you're wonderful. We're going to push you back over here. We got some more business to attend to over here. Interesting. The other one never like gave me little bubbles. Boom. You can hear the rice cookers popping a little. All right, so let me give you a little lesson. This is not the mozzarella you're going to use. This is good for shredding, for grating pizza, Italian dishes, pastas. Those kind of things. That's what this is good for. This is not the mozzarella you're going to use. This is stuff like cream string cheese. What you want is the fresh stuff. And unfortunately, you can see this one's a little outdated. I looked at the date, it says the 8th. I'm still going to open it up. But this one I bought too long ago. You can see this one, you can barely see. It's the Kirkland brand of fresh mozzarella. I'm still going to open it up. But I have my doubts that I'm going to be able to make the caprese salad, honestly. Because I can just see from the way it's bubbled that it's kind of fermented a bit. Probably not it's not the best cheese when it's fermented. And if I can't use this, I don't know. I wish I had known that this was out of date. Wish I had noticed that. Before I said I was going to make a caprese salad because, all right, so we're opening it up. But I can at least show you what fresh mozzarella could kind of, sort of be like. All right, but we're going to smell it first, don't worry. So this one, it comes already pre-sliced, and that's how you want fresh mozzarella, pre-sliced. See, there it is. A beautiful slice of mozzarella. I mean, it looks fine. Trust me, it looks okay. That's not what we're gonna base it on, though. It's still fine to eat. It just might not be as fresh as I had hoped, because I can see all the bubbling. Let's smell it first. Doesn't smell. No smelling going on, so that's not so bad. Let's try a little taste. So that's gonna be the thing I need to know. And a little more than that to see. No, it's going to be good. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, see, I was wondering because the other half of this package was a little on the not so fresh side. For some reason, this one, even though it doesn't look as good as normal, still fresh and good. So let's go for it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's going to be good. Oh, that mozzarella is just fine. It says May 8th on it. I know. I know we're about a week and a half after that. All right, let's see. We're going to choose one of my bigger plates. Because Happy Healthy Wife really likes this dish. Happy Healthy Daughter likes this dish a lot. So we're going to make a caprese salad. So we do have the mozzarella. I'm going to let it drain a bit. Yeah. So it doesn't leak all over the place as I'm working with it. There you go. Drained it a bit. Oh, that's going to be fine. All right, so we'll set this aside. This wonderful, flavorful mozzarella. Set it aside. And we'll put the plate over here so you can see the plate in the small. No. Let's set this up right. There you go. Let me see. There we go. Okay. Got the plate right here. I'll put this cheese back. We're using it for something else later. Fresh mozzarella. And how many do I think I need? Depends on how big they are and how well I slice them. I'm going 3 tomatoes. So I do 3 tomatoes. I do 5 slices each. That's a good correct amount. Let me see. So let me make sure I got the best of the tomatoes from in there. This one has a little. It's not a bad tomato. But I want to get the best ones in here for this. That one looks good. Yeah, I bought these tomatoes recently. Okay, so 3 ingredients. Tomatoes, mozzarella, and the best of the best ingredients. Oh, it's dry over there, so we can do this. I'm still going to paper towel it, though. Fresh basil. I'll put this right here. You see that fresh basil? Yeah, that's the stuff. We bought this in the grocery store and then planted it because that's how this basil works. We bought living basil. And, well, let me give you some. I'll show you. All right, so I have actually used this already quite a bit, actually. So if you look right here, this is the obvious one, right? The most obvious one is right here. You can see where the stem just stops right there, where my finger is. Stem just stops right there, and it has 2 branches left and right sides. So what I did was I took like one of these branches here, and I cut it right above where you see 2 leaves sticking out. Snip. And you take those basil, and you let the rest stay, and then it creates these 2 expansions. So this is how you can have the basil last for a long time. See, I got a lot of extra leaves now. There's also another way. I saw a video on how to, what you do is you can also cut your basil. Like if I was to, maybe I wanted to plant some more. I could cut it like right down here. Take off all the lower leaves. Keep a couple top leaves and plant it into the dirt. And out sprouts more basil. And keep going. You can do basil almost forever this way. Anyway, so, but yes, this dish, no. This dish, it's hard to say, the dried stuff just isn't gonna cut it. You need fresh basil. But it is well worth it. I mean, try this dish. So we're gonna do something a little different because Happy Healthy Wife does not like the peel on her tomatoes, so you might laugh at me. I've seen it before. People laughing, I've never seen anybody peel tomatoes before. It's very common to peel your tomatoes in China. So we're going to peel the tomatoes. That's right. No peel. I mean, let's see, we peel carrots, right? What else do we peel? We peel potatoes. I don't always peel potatoes. Some people peel cucumbers, some people peel zucchinis. It's not out of the imagination you peel vegetables or fruit. You know, we peel apples. Some people just don't like the peel on their vegetables or fruits. So we're just peeling away the tomato. Peel away the skin. That's what we're doing. All right, I think I pointed down too much. Let's point it up a bit. There we go. That's better. Now you can see me peel the tomato. And so I'm used to peeling tomatoes. Not a big deal. Plus, look at that. We got so much time here today. How much time we got left? How much longer am I going to cook this thing for? 30. How many minutes? 30. All right, we're down to 30 minutes. Down to 30. I'm going to tell you, this is not going to take 30 minutes. Making the caprese salad. We're not going to finish the caprese salad right away. There's going to be something else we have to do first. Well, not something else we have to do. It's going to be done too fast, and there's one other missing ingredient that I haven't shown you yet. That I have for the, oh, you want to see it in front too? There you go. One more missing ingredient that you're not going to see yet. Not till we're ready to serve it. Because, the ingredient, balsamic vinegar. Specifically, we're going to use a balsamic vinegar glaze instead of the actual vinegar. If you go to a Italian restaurant, you get the balsamic vinegar. The glaze is a little sweeter. But, it's... If you get the really expensive balsamic vinegar, it's kind of like the glaze anyway. But that's the other secret ingredient to a caprese salad. Although you don't necessarily need the vinegar. It's common though. It's useful. But it will have salt and pepper. And in this case, we want the fresh stuff because whenever you are doing salt and pepper and not cooking your salt nor your pepper, that's when the fresh stuff makes a difference. You can taste the difference in those salt and peppers when they're fresh ground. You can check out my video on that. I did a video with 3 kids. The my 2 kids and their friend, they tasted some steaks for me. And before that, though, I was testing the salt and pepper grinders. So it was basically a salt and pepper grinder. So if you're looking for the salt and pepper grinder video, it'll be there. And it's looking at, does it change the flavor? Excuse me. And yes, the fresh ground, there was a difference. You could tell the difference when I fresh ground pepper versus when I did not fresh ground the pepper. There was a definite difference there. So they noticed it. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna do 5, so that's gonna be 15. Sometimes there's extra. But let me think. Let's compare. So one thing of those, the size of the tomato that makes a difference? Because you want the size of the tomato and the size of your cheese to be about the same in general. Usually I use Roma tomatoes, but this time we did a different tomato. And they're gonna be about the right size. So cut off the end. And we want 5 slices or so. Nice, generous slices. There you go. That's a good thickness for the slice. Right there. That's a good thickness. And we do another. Yeah. Oh, really, we're not ready yet, though. I'm just slicing up the tomatoes to get them ready. And we'll do one more. 5 per tomato. Yeah, that'll be perfect. And this is the one you got to be careful on. Not much left to hold on the tomato with. There you go. And the top, that just goes away. The bottom goes away too. It's too small. Don't need that small stuff. So we go a nice big slice. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. Some slices are a little thinner than others. Not gonna be that much difference. And do the last one. The little piece we don't want, but we want this. Some nice meaty tomato slices. Oh, some of you probably take tomatoes and just add salt and eat them. I've heard of that. I have some relatives that do that. This is same idea. We're just elevating it with some cream in the form of cheese. All right, so let's get the basil ready to go. So let me show you how we do the basil. So we're going to cut some basil up. So I need 15 leaves to go with 15 tomato slices to go with 15 cheese slices. So, sorry, basil buddy. I'm just going to have to choose some of you that aren't going to come back, I think. Let me see. Some of you aren't going to grow up again. Is that one? I thin the herd. All right, let me see. How many is in this one? A few. This one that one I can do my thing too. Okay, so this one is going to take all. This one's going to be Dunsky's, probably. Let me see. Right there. Now, it might come back, but I don't think it will. So you see how many leaves we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 basil leaves. That one goes away. So I just need one more of 7 or so. And see, this one is beautiful because look at that. We got something here. They can spread out, so we're going to cut right above it. So we cut right above there. Perfect. And see, we wanted, well, yeah, this one's too small to do what I want to do. Put a plant in the ground. So let's see. How many leaves we got here? Got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just need 3 more leaves. And we're good with our basil for today. Let's see. Which one's going to thin out? Now this one. This one we can get 3 from here. This will be fine. So this one I'm just going to take out 3 leaves. The 3 lower ones. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. 3 leaves from this one. And there we have our fresh basil. Wonderful. And I'll put the basil back. One thing I've also noticed about our fresh basil, it grows towards the light. I wash my hands because it's a little dirty. And the basil at the same, hands and basil. And let's wash our basil. Yes, yes, yes. And then we'll put together an amazing caprese salad. Amazing. You know, wash your basil like you'd wash any leafy vegetable. We'll do the stuff we can do, which is the layering, but we're not going to finish it up because that takes some other necessities that we don't have. So let's see. The method of putting them down is cheese, tomato, basil. Cheese, tomato, basil. So notice I took one small slice of cheese. Whoops. There it was. Yep. I knew it would leak out if I didn't take enough out. Oh, okay, so I heard a pop in the back. Maybe you didn't hear it. I heard it. That pop means the rice is ready. Still got 20-some minutes left. All right, so you take out the cheese. Slice of cheese. On top of the cheese goes slice of tomato. On top of that, a slice of basil. And repeat. I like to do it in a whole circle. So maybe I'll move this back here for you. Move it out so you can see the process. And see, I've left the oil. By the way, I've also left them, cheese right on top of the basil. Boom. You know what? We're going to move it back down. Move the camera back down. Perfect. And this is also how it makes colorful and beautiful cheese, tomato, slice, leaf of basil, and repeat. That one across. Let me move this over here. Beautiful. Cheese. That one fell apart a bit. It's okay. It means it's still good. Cheese. Tomato. Leaf of basil. I'm going to do it in a circle around the plate. That's the beauty. If you've been watching my channel, my posts on the YouTube posts, the community posts, you would have seen some pictures of caprese salad. And now you get to see how it's done. It's really easy. And tastes really good too. It's phenomenal. It is currently our favorite salad. So this cheese is just Kirkland, the Kirkland kind. I mean, your grocery store, if you go to the special deli section, where you see all the fancy cheeses, where you get your, like the actual block of Parmesan or the Brie, those kinds of cheeses. If you go there, you are going to see the fresh mozzarella, most likely. And that's what you need to use for this. I guess you could use the string cheese type mozzarella, that mozzarella that you grate for other things. Great for your pizzas, Italian dishes. You can use that mozzarella too for the lasagnas. It's just not the same as this fresh. This fresh is more creamy. And I guess you watch an Epicurious, you might be able to, they'll show you how to make your own cheese, I'm pretty sure. Make your own wonderful fresh mozzarella. Then you also still have to buy ingredients to do that, though. Not like you just, it's not stuff you'd have on hand. Not like you just take out the milk and make it. No, other stuff goes along. So again, it's cheese, tomato, basil. And you just keep layering them on. Cheese, tomato, and basil. Let's see, some hot dishes coming out. So I don't know if you know how my channel operates, but I do have a big backlog right now of recorded stuff. And you may have seen, or well, you've seen it, man, but there's this box right here. Probably don't know what that box is for, because it doesn't really say in your direction what it's for. But these are vacuum seal rolls. And that's something else I'm going to work on to record some vacuum seal rolls. What am I doing with that? Well, I think it's going to be cool. Because what I'm hoping to do with these, it's like, when you buy a bunch of meat, like Costco, you just buy a bunch because it's cheaper at Costco, and you just buy it in bulk. Then you're going to freeze it because it's cheaper that way. I am hoping that I can try out these vacuum seal bags. And so I would vacuum seal the meats so that, whenever you put stuff in the freezer, you get that freezer burn thing going. So my hope is that when I do it, the freezer burn won't happen. This is my hope. This is what we'll see. All right, let's see. You got a few more to go. Get the cheese. This is the last one that's going to be in the ring. Okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I have 3 left over. I usually like to do double in the ring. So, no. We'll work it. We'll work it this way. It'll be fine. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And the basil. See, now I'm also going to change some of the basil around. There we go. Because presentation is part of the things we do. Okay, here we go. That one. Oh, did I miscount my basil? So I have 3 more slices of tomato. Cheese goes first. But I only have... Oh, there's the hidden basil. You little sly dog, you. Okay. Use a small one here. It'll poke out. And then cheese. And then tomato. And then basil. And then cheese. On top. And then tomato. Oh, we're doing even more fancy than usual. And then basil. Boom. All right, so that is the basic part of the caprese salad that's going to go down. That's basically how this part works. Oops. Let's do it like this. There we go. There we go. Now we got it going. Okay. Beautiful. That's basically how it works. Oh, look at that. And there's like 1, 2 actually cheese slices. So if I was really hungry, I would just wolf those 2 down. Because it's what I call chef's privilege. Or cook's privilege. Chef's privilege. You get the extras that couldn't go. That's how it makes so you don't eat as much when you're on the table. You don't need to. So let's try it. It's pretty good by itself. But let's give you guys the full treatment. Full treatment. What does that mean? It's got to have everything with it. Everything with it. Oh, the Bambino. The infamous. I don't know about infamous. Guess you call me infamous. But let's go the full 9 yards here. The oil. We're going to put oil on this later. You got to get your pepper. That was salt. Perfect. Little salt. Little pepper. And how about the secret ingredient? Well, not really secret ingredient, but it is a worthy ingredient. Now, Costco used to have this in the store. See, it's a balsamic glaze. It's a little expensive, but this is the best thing to do. For the loaves of bread you can buy in Costco, where you get the French loaf. We'll keep it out now that you've seen it. There's the French loaf. There's the the more important, the baguette. Get a baguette. Put some olive oil, balsamic vinegar, glaze because it's a little sweeter. Dip the bread in. Oh, heaven! So here we go. Cheese, salt, pepper, balsamic glaze, some oil, some olive oil. Heaven. A little too much salt. The sweetness of the balsamic glaze. A little too much salt. The pepper, the oil. Oh, wow, that oil. Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful, delightful, tasteful experience. All right, so now if you look at the timer, I'll go ahead and take a look at the timer. I see we got 12 minutes left. You might wonder, what am I going to do in 12 minutes? Well, something else I can do is I can start setting up. That was good. I can't wait. I can't wait to eat that. I'm going to start setting up Happy Healthy Daughters lunch for tomorrow. Now, we are lucky, in fact, because, well, what does she want for lunch? PB&J? Nope. Sandwiches? Nope. Dino nuggets? No. She loves dino nuggets, but that doesn't keep well for lunch. Turkey sandwich? Ham sandwich? No. Something easier. Not prepare it. So I'm going to go get it. What I got to prepare for her lunch, because she is a healthy-minded daughter. Very healthy. So we got to treat her right. Give her some healthy lunch. So let me take a look what I've got. See if it's still fresh. Excuse me. Very good. I was going to make a fresh one for her, but since it's still fresh, still looks good. Still dreaming of that flavor. Oh, yes, the pepper. I can taste the pepper. The fresh pepper is so good. Salad. This is what Happy Healthy Daughter has for lunch, believe it or not. So usually I would spend tonight making one. Got some of the ones that are a little turning. There we go. So recently, this is a mix of romaine and a spring. So it's like got some of this endive and spinach mixed with the romaine. What do we do with it? Stick it in some lunch boxes. Let me get the lunch boxes. As you know, we like to be environmentally conscious in this household a bit. So some of the things we do, that's the one, is we use reusable containers. Now these containers that I'm picking out now, I didn't buy them separately. These were bought with lunch meats. So some of the lunch stores around in our area when you buy lunch meats, ham, pastrami, whatever have you, they come in these beautiful plastic containers. So what we do is we just eat up the meats when we use them for other stuff, maybe sandwiches. Oh, this lid didn't fit. I thought it was gonna fit. I need a better lid. Wait. Does it fit? Does it fit? No, it's a little too tight. No. I need a bigger lid. Oh, let's try the bigger ones. These containers now become lunch containers. Too big. Funny. Went from too small to too big. All right, let's try this one. Just right. Unfortunately, they don't all have the same size containers. I know you might think they all look very similar. The containers aren't all the same size. But this is what we do. So one of the things I do is you put in the lettuce. Take the lettuce, put it in her box, and set it in the refrigerator for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're gonna add to this some cheese. And I might add some meat. Usually what we add is the Costco chicken. But I didn't go to Costco this week. You know, we tend to do a Costco every other week because finally going to Costco every week was just too much. It was a big waste of time. Because you need to buy everything from Costco every week. You can wait a week for some of the stuff. So anyway, so there's one of them. So on tomorrow morning, before she goes to school, gonna add some cheese and possibly some meat. Water from there. And that'll be the quick and easy lunch that she likes. Salad. Yes, she likes salad. She likes her salad. Usually what I do is I'll cut the lettuce and just have it out, give her some new containers, and have her pack it herself. And I'll add the cheese. And the meat in the morning. We'll save the rest of the salad for our today dinner. So we got that. What else for lunch? Okay, so here's two other things. Well, this is healthy, right? Beautiful and healthy salads. The cheese we need. We're gonna put in the refrigerator, keep it for tomorrow. Put it in our lunch bag. Also, she loves blueberries. Fresh blueberries. And we usually give her some fresh, oh, there it is. Fresh blueberries every week. How does she eat? You might wonder. Well, also in her bag, see, we got this reusable silverware. Well, not reusable, it's silverware in a container, so she can just keep that. The other thing goes in her bag, this, actually it's kind of funny. This has probably been in here for a week. She doesn't always eat the granola bar, but sometimes she does, so we put that in there. No, it's also a reusable lunch bag. Reusable. It's very nice. Save us from buying all those brown paper bags or trying to find some sort of bag to get it with. Let's see. These are the new ones. These are the other ones. Okay. But she does have some other things she likes. And her lunch. And again, reusable containers. And usually I don't wash these ones every day. We do wash them at least once a week. And, it's just a container, just like that bag's a container for the pretzels and the Cheez-Its. Move the bag out of the way. So this is what we do for lunches. So the night before, and since we got some time, just relaxing here, sitting back, waiting. I'm just smelling that, the short ribs. They smell delightful. Pretzel bits. Love the Snyder's family size. Well, Snyder's sourdough nibblers. They are good. They are really good. They're nice and crunchy. I'll just take one from her bag. Gave her a little too much anyway. Hear that crunch? They're good. For their pleasure. You might recognize these. Cheez-Its. Not gonna describe Cheez-Its. They're just cheddar cheese cracker. There you go. Close it up. 1. Close it up. 2. Into our lunch bag they go. Tomorrow we'll add the salad bag. Wash up the blueberries. Something else we also gave her. A cup of water. Now her water bottle is upstairs with her right now because that's where she is. Well, no, she's still sleeping. Their prom was yesterday. So she's out late, but a nice water bottle, something like this. This is the one that I use. Take water in. Open it up. Reusable. Reusable. So everything we do is reusable, you know, because one thing I saw, which was really quite interesting, at the lunch cafeteria at our school. I'm not sure if her school is similar or not. Anyway, so we'll leave that open. We'll set that up over there. One thing I saw was interesting. As I walked by the cafeteria almost every day, it's on my way to use the restroom. So it's like the back entrance where all the deliveries come in. That's what I walked by. And one thing I noticed, to my dismay, was a big stack. Not kidding, about like this high. Cardboard pizza boxes. Pizza Hut and Domino's intermixed. They got both. I don't know why they have both. I'm not sure, because I never get the lunch cafeteria. I don't really see what the students get, but kid you not. And they weren't flattened, so that's they're still boxed, like boxes. As if the pizza was still in there. Kind of discerning. I'm thinking, you know what? Why doesn't Pizza Hut and Domino's, why don't they make reusable boxes? Because where do those boxes go? They just go to landfill. At least that's what the janitor told me. Yeah, so because our district's not recycling, does not have a recycling program for those cardboard boxes. So where they go, they wind up in landfill. I'm thinking, man, that's a lot of pizza boxes and this is not one day out of the week. This is like every day. You see a nice stack of pizza boxes just sitting there waiting to be taken away and to be put in some landfill somewhere. I'm just thinking, why don't we just get some reusable pizza boxes? Pizza brings in like a stack, reusable pizza boxes. We take them, we put them back out, send them back to Pizza Hut, and keeps going back and forth. Like each day, I need 2 sets. Save you a lot of, might save money. Oh, look at that. It is done. It is ready. Okay, so let's get this ready. Get this out of the way. All right, so let me move the hot stuff back. Yeah, this camera's gonna fall away, so for a minute, it's okay. So let's move it back. All right, let me lift it and move it. Let's see, need to have this side. We're gonna put this side towards the camera, right? Camera down here, so you can see what's going on. No, you need to be higher. You need to actually be higher. So you're gonna see what I do. There it is. So it said, boom, I am ready to go. I have finished cooking the 45 minutes of pressure cooker you said you wanted me to cook. So right now what's going to happen is I'll let it go for a minute or so. Oh, by the way, the rice is done too. Let me show you the rice. That one's easier. It's been there for a while. Let's see if I did good on the rice or if my measurements were off. Let's see how I did on the rice. Was I right or was I not doing this correctly? All right, so let's take a look at the rice. Oh, there you go. So take a look at the rice. Nice, white, and fluffy. Maybe I had a little too much liquid in there. We're gonna need to take this out and put it on a bowl first. And of course, you know it, rice scooper. Since we have rice so often here. Let's see, what bowl do I want? What bowl's gonna look good? Remember, we're doing this not just, you know I got the plain white bowls? The clear bowls that you've seen it in the video, those are at Grandma's house. I don't have any clear bowls. But this bowl, I think will look good. This is what I did the rice in before. I put in one of these bowls. So let's take a look at the rice. Let's see. I might have had a little too much water in there. But you know, you can fix that because you just open it up and let the steam out. Okay. I'm gonna taste the rice first. Gonna taste it first to see how I did on it. Let you know. But I do stand by my finger width. That is a standard rice cooker measurement. The less rice in there though, the less above the rice level you want. If you're not doing much rice. So there you go, there is my rice. This is what I'm gonna put the meat on to make it look beautiful. Here's my trick, I'm gonna keep the rice higher on one side than the other. It's a little trick to when you're doing pictures. All right, so we can close this one up. So you see the rice. So now let's try the rice. See how it is. Yeah, I could use chopsticks, but my chopsticks are over there and they're not as easy to get to. So we're gonna go spoon. Actually, I should go fork. Why should I go fork? I should go fork. Why should I go fork? I should go fork because that's how we're gonna eat the other dishes with fork. Okay, so here we go. Get the main camera, get you some rice. There's some rice. Beautiful cooked rice. Let me do it the way it's supposed to be, in this direction. There you go, some beautiful cooked rice. I know it'll focus on it, come on, focus. Focus on the rice, not on me, there you go. Focus on the rice, beautiful. All right, so let's try the rice. Steamed white rice, just like any Chinese restaurant. Oh, by the way, the other secret about using steamed white rice is the kind of rice you choose. Yeah, Yeah, no, that's not too much water. It's your very standard, great tasting rice. And which rice do we use? In America, we use Calrose rice. So if you're going to the regular grocery store and you're looking for rice to do for steamed rice, the secret is Calrose rice, C-A-L-R-O-S-E. Do not touch the long grain stuff. It's not going to come out this good. This is good steamed rice, yeah. Beautiful, okay, so we got the steamed rice going. I'm gonna put that back. Notice it got unplugged. See, I unplugged it. Why? Because if you keep it in there just like this pot, it's gonna keep it warm. And that's gonna dry it out. Especially if you're trying to do leftovers. You do not want to dry it out. All right. So there's the rice. All right, so now the next step. Here you go. This is what you've been waiting for. All right, see right over here is the release switch. It's going to release the pressure. Oh, yeah. So it's been 5 minutes. You can see there. 5 minutes of heating time, keeping warm time. It'll keep track of that. But this is the button we're going to push, and you're going to see what happens. I'm going to do it from this side because it's going to release the steam over here. This black knob, where all the steam's going to come out of. You can't see the black knob? Oh, you're right, you can't. Move this closer, let's see. You can barely see the black knob now. All right, let me switch it around so you can see the black knob. That's the important part. You already heard it release a little bit. All right, better. So here's your black knob. This is where the steam is going to come out from. Here is a pressure release switch. Now on the older models, this is where you would flip the switch here and all steam come out. But they said, that's just obnoxious. Why don't you just do this? So let's try it. Flip the switch. Boom, there goes the steam. See that steam flying out? Woo! Don't put your finger near it. This is why also I'm choosing to do it here as opposed to under the cabinet. So if you're using a pressure cooker here or under your stove, if you're going to release it so that the steam doesn't go to the wood, it's in the cabinet. Right now it's going to the ceiling. It's okay. It's not bad. But yeah, if you can't, I hope you can see the steam coming out the black knob. So what you're waiting for is for the steam to stop and this silver button to drop back down. This is the quick release method. So once you've done this, boom, it's going to be ready to go. Here it goes. It takes a bit of time. So now if we instead waited 25 minutes, they had said to wait, this actually would have finally gone down. The silver button would have gone down. The pressure would have gone down and it would be ready. Oh, I can already smell those wonderful aromas that this dish creates. Oh, I'm just waiting to show you how tender these beef ribs really become after sitting 45 minutes in this pressure cooker instead of sitting 6 hours in a crock pot. That's the big difference. Oh, what the heck? Okay. I don't know why, but something changed over there. Everything else is going fine. So waiting for the steam to dissipate. There it goes. Now I will admit, it's taking longer than it did in the meal thief to dissipate. Might be better, might not be better. I don't know. It also went at an angle instead of straight vertical, which I think is better because that way, it doesn't go straight up. It takes longer to get to the ceiling or whatever you have overhead. Because, that steam is hot and full of possibly. Okay, silver button popped down. So that means we are ready to open. All right. I'm going to flip it back around for you guys. This way. All right, so then what you do? Purpose does it. Now I can even flip this back down. So I'm going to flip it back to ceiling because that's what we're going to do. Hit the cancel button. Now you heard the cancel, yeah, cancel it. It's no longer trying to cook or keep warm. That noise saying that we've opened it. And then, wow, there it is. The best short rib recipe you're ever gonna have. So one thing, you can see there's a ring here. This is the plastic, didn't get there, there you go, here you go. There's this plastic ring here on all these pressure cookers. What does that do? That's partly how the air gets sealed in there, so that it pressures up. The important thing about this thing though, the ring, is you might buy some extras from whichever company you're gonna use it with, because that ring starts to incorporate the flavors of whatever you're cooking. So if you're always cooking savory dishes, that ring's gonna get very savory. If you're always cooking sweet dishes, that ring gets very sweet. So you might switch out sweet and savory for the rings. Some people do. I haven't done that because I am not cooking desserts in my pressure cooker. It's almost always a dish like this. All right, so let's dish out some of these ribs. So you can see, there it is, just how tender it is. Let's see. So we need this, and I need a spoon. We're going ladle. We're going my favorite ladle. I hope I have my favorite. No. I hope my favorite ladle is in here. No. This one's pretty good. I want the no. I want the plastic one. Change my mind. I don't want the metal one because I don't want to scratch up this surface in here. So let's take out a couple ribs. The meat on the rib, you can see that meat. It is really fall off the bone tender. Let's do another one. There we go. You can see the meat really shrunk compared to the rib, compared to where it was. So place a couple of ribs like they recommended on the actual rice. There we go. So here is the setting it up, right? The last part of the time is what we're going to do is we're going to set up so that it hopefully looks beautiful so that you and whoever you're cooking for will want to eat, because that's part of the thing is the presentation. So we've got the ribs, now you got to get the sauce. And then we'll finish with the caprese salad, just for show, because you've already seen, I've already eaten it. I've already told you how wonderful it is. That fresh cracked pepper, the saltiness, the tomato, fresh slice of tomatoes sitting with the cheese, the creamy texture of the cheese, plus the flavor of basil. A nice, not quite minty flavor to make it excellent and tasty. Caprese salad, that is something you need to do. All right, so let's see. Some of the vegetables on the side. Now remember, the actual recipe didn't ask you this for the vegetables. What did it ask for? It asked for you to take out the bones and put it into an immersion blender to merge everything together. I can hear some stirring up above. All right, let's put some sauce in there. Okay, beautiful. Sauce on the rice. And you got a plate. Whenever you plate, you always want to make it look beautiful. Make sure you get the rice sticking out. Of course, I'm going to show this on the big camera in a second. Okay, so this is the dish. It is quite a lot. I'll admit, it's quite a bit. If you're just cooking for two, you probably wouldn't do as much. So what are we going to do with this? I'm going to set this aside for a minute. The other thing I do. So remember, so part of this is also, so I've gotten this ready. We're just going to cover it back up and move it aside and unplug it. To get everything else ready. All right, we're just going to unplug it. There we go. Move it aside. It's ready for the big time, for the show time. Move it aside for now. Over there is fine. Because we are getting ready to take the picture, the thumbnail, if you will, of everything we have cooked today. And this is it, just these two dishes. This will be interesting. Move this aside as well. Oh, yeah, I did want to show this to you up and close and personal. So you can take a look. Okay, it's going to focus on that soon. There it is. Take a look at that. It's wonderful looking. All right, let me take out the extra camera. You don't need that one now. Let me take that out. Boom. There we go. Let's do that again. The full effect. It's going to focus in. Just give it a minute. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that is some beautiful, beautiful short ribs. Now you want to see the tenderness. But before I do that, we need the pictures. And remember, because of my lighting situation, I'm going to apologize ahead of time because my back's going to be towards you. I'm going to be cutting off your camera view exactly, completely. Well, let me do this then. You still want to see a dish, right? Okay, here you go. There you go. There is the dishes, the two dishes. And I am going to take the camera. Oh, this one's not done yet. You're right. That one's not done yet. You are so correct. So, let us add on. This is the salt. A nice round of salt. Oh, you can't see the salt, but it's there, and it is flavor that needs to be there. the pepper. That you can see. Some olive oil. Oh, yes, yes. A little drizzle of olive oil. And if you don't have containers like this for your oil, spend the money. It's well worth it. It saves so much time and energy when I'm putting oil into the pan and cooking. Lastly, the one that's going to disappear, well, in other words, you won't see it very well, is the balsamic vinegar glaze. Just a nice glaze on top. Come on, there we go. Kind of like chocolate sauce. Oh, yes, there it is. And there you go. Caprese salad. Oh, it's to die for. This is also to die for. I'm going to taste that in a minute, but first, we got to take the pictures. Got to have those wonderful pictures. Yes, yes, yes. Got to have those wonderful pictures. Huh. I'm wondering about that. We're going to take a look at that later. So remember this. Let's see. And the light better. Light better, sorry. I know you don't. Okay. Okay. Let's do one just of the caprese salad, yeah. I know I have plenty of caprese salad pictures, but that one alone is good. And then you notice I purposely chose a contrasting color for the rib dish. Purposeful. Those ribs look good. Oh, beautiful shot. Let me do a little more that way. And you know how the shadow goes. One more. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I can see. I know it's flashy. You can see the flash going on. This isn't really, I don't have really a great way to set this up, but if the beef dish looks smaller than our salad, this is how we serve it. Let me think. I'm trying to think which side is better. There we go. And there we go. That's the thumbnail. Beautiful thumbnail. Okay. Huh. Hold on, let me think about this for a second. Aha. I remembered something. Okay. Try this again. That'll work, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Well, maybe not. But you have seen some behind the scenes, how we get those beautiful pictures. This is how we do all the beautiful pictures for all the food. You see, it's just food, real food, none of the fake stuff. All right, let's go back. Boom. None of the fake stuff. Absolutely none of the fake stuff. Hold on, I'm going to make one change over here. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, interesting. Oh, boom. There we go. Okay. Now I won't have that problem anymore, I don't think. Oh, this one is not even on. That's weird. How come? How come it's not even on for that one? It makes no sense. Let's see. Audio. Let's change this. Is there a way to get it out of there? Just curious. Sorry, I am changing something. Hopefully. Oh well. I'll look at that later. Sorry, I shouldn't waste your time now. But now, let us try this fabulous beef dish. All right, got my fork. Want to show you, main camera only now, the tenderness of this beef. See that beef? All right, focus on it. There it goes. You can see just right off the bone. Tenderness. Right off the bone. How about this one? Tenderness. Right off the bone. Hardly even sticks to the bone anymore. There it goes. Look at that. All right, let's try the tenderness of the beef. Let's try it out. Wow. Oh. That beef just melts in your mouth. Just melts there. Think of a beef stew, except the beef is so tender, it just dissolves in your mouth. That's what you want to think about when you think about this dish. And the flavor, similar to a beef stew, but more rich. Yeah, much more rich. Potatoes, oh, really soft potatoes, carrot. Dissolving in your mouth, all of it. Celery would have a crunch. Barely. Oh, but all the flavor. Oh, you can really taste the flavor of the broth in there too. That brothy flavor. All the goodness from the meat, the vegetables, the wine, the red wine vinegar, the garlic. All the flavors come through, very pronounced, have an awesome effect on the beef. And let's try this little piece right here. Take off the bone. That's why I'm just using a fork. Not right off. Oh. Oh. And the tenderness from the fat. All that flavor soaked in. I bet my family's getting hungry. Just looking at this. Considering that it is 7 o'clock our time. Oh, those flavors are wonderful. Oh, you know, if you haven't had the braised short ribs done in a pressure cooker, you've got to try it. I don't know if a crock pot can do it this justice. This is just so tender, so flavorful, and so wonderful. Well, so I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of How to Make Your Wife Happy and Healthy. She's about to enjoy one of her favorite meals. She loves the spare ribs sitting in the tastiest sauce ever. She loves the caprese salad. Oh, it is just heaven on earth if you've never had it. This is easy to make. You have to make this one. This is just so easy to make. Doesn't take much time. No cooking involved. You just put stuff together, freshest ingredients, have a taste. It is the most wonderful thing you are gonna have for a salad. Oh, it is absolutely delightful. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Maybe try these dishes on your own. And if you do, you can leave a comment, see if you liked them or not. Otherwise, it was good to see you, and I will see you in the next episode. There is a video coming out tomorrow, so you want to watch that one as well. But I'll see you in my next live stream where, well, I don't know what we'll make. We'll see then. Bye. Have a good night.